Hey guys, Blue Life here, and today I'm reviewing Star Trek VI: The Undiscovered Country. This film is a return to form for the franchise after the mediocre Star Trek V: The Final Frontier. Now, the story in this starts off with when the starship Excelsior, under the command of Hikaru Sulu, gets hit by this massive shockwave. They trace the shockwave back to a small moon. It's a Klingon moon named Praxis. Now, this Praxis is Klingon's primary mining source. This is where they get most of their energy making material. And, they ask the Klingons if they need any assistance, and they're like, we have it under control, we don't need any help. Then a couple weeks down the line, cut into the Federation, and they pretty much predict that within 50 years, the Klingon Empire will not be able to self-sustain itself any longer. So they have contacted the Klingons. They've used Ambassador Spock to try to help get some peace negotiations going on, and the Federation orders Kirk and his crew to rendezvous with a Klingon vessel to escort the Klingon Chancellor to Federation space for a peace conference. And Kirk doesn't like this idea because Klingons killed his son, and he has kind of a bit of prejudice against them. But he, follows orders and goes through with this. And they meet up with the ship, and they invite him over for dinner, and it's really awkward. And of course you get the great scene with them on the dinner table, and the Klingons recite Shakespeare in Klingon, which is pretty fun scene. And then what happens next is that the Enterprise actually fires a photon torpedo at the Klingon ship, and two Federation officers beam over and start shooting every Klingon in sight, and they shoot the Chancellor. And so Kirk and McCoy beam over and say, like, we don't know what's going on, we want to find out just as much as you do. And McCoy tries to save the Chancellor's life, but fails. And the Klingons say, "Hey, we got to put you on trial. This is an outrage." So Kirk and McCoy get put on trial against the High Council and get sentenced to Aurora Penthe, a prison on this ice planet. And that leaves Spock in command of the Enterprise and has to find out how to get them home and investigate what exactly happened. And that's pretty much it for the story. But you do get a really good villain in this, General Chang, who's played by the wonderful Christopher Plummer. He does a great job in this role, and it's actually interesting because Christopher Plummer and William Shatner used to work together a number of times in Montreal, doing theater work. But yeah, he's a really good villain. You also get a protege of Spock's, played by Kim Cattrall, and she's a Vulcan. Her character's name is Valeris, and she does a pretty good job in this role as well. So yeah, the story in this is definitely much better than The Final Frontier. And of course, this is written by, or at least co-written by, Nicholas Meyer, and he comes back to direct this. And in case you didn't know, The Undiscovered Country, that refers to Hamlet, and The Undiscovered Country, I believe, means death. And of course, it can mean a lot of different things. And as it pertains in this movie, The Undiscovered Country means really this alliance between, this treaty between the Federation and Klingons. A lot of Klingons don't want to see that happen, and some people in the Federation don't want to see that happen. But a little trivia for you: the Undiscovered Country was the original name that Nick Meyer wanted to call Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. But yeah, I mean, as I said, the story in this really good. This is, I would say, a definite must-watch, and this is a really nice send-off for the original series crew. So for the story, I'm going to go ahead and give that a B+. As far as picture quality goes, really the same as all the other reviews. I mean, nice colors in there, pretty vivid. But, you know, there's still a bit of loss of detail in there with the softness, so I'm going to give that a C+. As for the special features, you do get just about everything from the original 2-disc collector's edition DVD that came out in 2004, but you get the audio commentary by Nicholas Meyer and Denny Martin Flynn. And Denny Martin Flynn is actually the co-writer of the film. You also get the Perils of Peacemaking, stories from Star Trek VI, just a making-of documentary, conversations with Nicholas Meyer, Klingons Conjuring the Legend, and this is just like kind of a look at how the race has evolved over the years. You also get Federation Operatives, Penny's Toy Box. This is a Paramount archivist that gives a little tour of like Trek props and costumes. A neat little featurette. You also get Together Again, where Christopher Plummer talks about his relationship with William Shatner. DeForest Kelley, a tribute. Of course, DeForest Kelley plays Dr. McCoy. And you also get the original interviews from on the set with the stars of the film. You get trailers, 1991 convention presentation by Nick Meyer, production gallery, and storyboards. As far as some of the Blu-ray exclusives, you get an audio commentary by Larry Nemecek and Ira Stephen Burr. And Larry Nemecek is actually an author of a few different Star Trek books, and Ira Stephen Burr was actually a producer on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And of course, you get the library computer. If you don't know what warp drive means or phasers means, when they mention it in the film, it'll pop up if you in the top right corner if you have this feature activated, and you can click on the different words and get a definition for them. So good if you're not huge into Star Trek. Let's see, you also get Tom Morga, Alien Stuntman. Let's see, you get To Be or Not to Be, Klingons in Shakespeare. This is a theater group in St. Paul, put on a stage production of Hamlet entirely in Klingon. Wow. And you also get the Starfleet Academy SciSec brief, Praxis. As I said before, these are pieces of fluff, where it's done pretty much in the Star Trek universe, where a science officer is telling you about what happens on Praxis. And then of course you get the Star Trek IQ, which you can make your own Star Trek quizzes and take other people's quizzes on there as well. So yeah, for the special features, I'm going to go ahead and give that a B+, which brings the overall grade for Star Trek VI: The Undiscovered Country to a B-. Thanks guys, till next time.